1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. What's happening, y'all? This is Andrew. That's Coop. We're gonna try something different and new this evening, which
This
is
year.
this year too. That's right. We haven't done shit. We hadn't done this in a long time, have we? Man,
Yeah.
idea a few months back to do a listen to re-listen to some albums like that I love, that you love, that other whoever is on the show loved when they were teenagers, but they haven't maybe picked up and gone back to and listened to in a while. We're going to do that tonight with Pearl Jam's 10, which I've listened to in pieces, but I don't know that I've sat down and listened to it in its entirety in a very, very long time. So
They're a West Coast group, right?
yeah, they're Seattle.
They're from Seattle, right?
Eddie
So I
Vedder's from
guess
San Diego. He moved up to be part of the band, but yeah.
okay. Right. Okay, I felt like one of them was from Cali. So this would be like Pearl Jam's 10 to me would be kind of like for you in the hip hop context, like some of well, let's go Northern California, like some of Too Short
Mm,
or E40's classic material. Like
yeah,
you're familiar with the name and have
right.
heard the records,
Yeah,
but you're not like super acquainted.
but I'm not
That's
haven't like sat down and listened to the whole albums and that kind
right,
of thing.
right,
So,
right.
so yeah, we're coming at this from two different places. One person who I haven't listened to it really in a long time. I'll tell you a little bit as we go along the story of how I first became acquainted with it. But and somebody who's I wouldn't call it necessarily fresh ears you're coming to this with, but like you're not as familiar with it, I guess, as but for those of you
Right.
who don't know Cooper, who have watched Grateful Dead on this channel or watched other stuff on this channel, this guy knows tons and tons about music and not just hip hop music too. So it'll be
Yeah.
interesting to hear his kind of reflex
I
reactions to
know.
some of it too. All right, so Pearl Jam's 10 starts with a song called Once. So here, this is Once.
Oh yeah.
That kicks in the first time.
I admit it. What's to say?
I like that.
I relive it without pain. Backstreet lover on the side of the road. I got a bomb in my temple that is gonna explode. I got a 16 gauge buried under my clothes. I played once upon a time. I could control myself. Once upon a time, I could lose myself. Oh, time limit. What's the saying?
And we can take that. I mean the whole beat out of that too.
I am in it. Where do I stand? It is summer and I hate to eat. I got a backseat lover on the passenger seat. I got my hand in my pocket so determined to squeeze. I pray. Once upon a time, I could control myself. Once upon a time, I could lose myself.
can hear the Seattle.
Yeah.
You can hear the Seattle. I can hear the Jimi Hendrix influence,
Mhm.
which you usually can hear like from damn near every Seattle rock band that's come out since Jimmy
Yeah.
came around. So I hear the Jimi Hendrix
Mhm. Yeah.
mostly. Um, it also triggered my thoughts about how like you need to start with something strong,
Mhm.
with which this very much is. Um, then I was thinking Eddie Van Halen's voice is very distinctive.
Eddie Vedder, yeah. Van Halen's Van Halen,
Better,
yeah.
sorry. So
But
right,
but
right,
you
right,
you
right.
are not wrong. It does have the tap. It does have a little of that tapping kind of sound of the guitar in it, though. I mean, they are pulling
Yes,
from that tradition for sure, a little bit.
yes. Like vocally, um, maybe not as strong as some of his contemporaries,
Hmm. But
but
respectfully, his contemporaries in even in Seattle are Lane Staley, Chris Cornell, Kurt Cobain. Like those are perhaps three of the greatest rock vocalists that have ever lived. So, like, I mean, I would put Eddie Vedder in that conversation too, but like, it is very different, right?
I don't get
Um,
I don't get to pick the era that you come in. I'm just telling
yeah,
you what I hear. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
understand.
So like I guess vocally that would make him. I guess my contextualization would be that would make him kind of like closer to like a Bob Dylan or a Mick Jagger
Mm,
type of figure, where it's like, well, vocally not like the guy for his era, but still like in the conversation because you can,
mm,
I guess, that's that intangible thing and the emotion that certain artists evoke with their voice. That's what I
yeah,
get out of that.
and
Um,
he's a
but
better performer too, like as a live show performer. Like
that's
he's a
that's what
yeah.
yeah, that's what I mean. It's like the intangible things
Hmm.
are probably what put him in that conversation, kind of like a Bob Dylan or a
Yeah,
Mick Jagger. It's kind of like an aura
yeah,
to it too. It's a great album starter,
yeah. It
mostly
is.
though.
It very well may be one of my very favorite songs they ever did. I mean, and
Okay.
it's not one of their great big hit songs really, but
Briefly, I did think it's like, well, if a whole album sounds like this, well, I mean, well, damn. I don't know. Go ahead. Next record.
the next record is Even Flow. This is one that even if you um, not listened to the album recently, you would recognize probably. This is I believe this was the first single. Don't hold me to that, but is either this one or the next one. So
I remember this.
big time.
Freezing, rests his head on a pillow made of concrete. Oh, feeling, maybe he'll see a little better Saturdays. Oh, hey, now faces that he sees, stomach and ain't that familiar. Oh, no, friend, he can't help when his happy looks insane.
That's Chicago.
Even though thoughts are up like butterflies, oh, we don't know, so he chases them away. Oh, someday, yeah, he'll begin his life again, life
All right. Right.
The music industry won't let you make records like that anymore.
Oh no, it's so good. It's so
The
good.
music industry won't let you make records like that anymore. You will not, you are not going to be doing any 30-second breakdowns looped into a bridge
Hmm.
and then a third verse
And
and
then
then a
building it
full
back up,
outro.
pulling it all the way out.
Right,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean with a full outro where it's like where it literally slopes down and then comes back up and like takes back off again before it,
Hmm.
like takes back down. It's like, no, 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 the music industry won't let you do that. They're like, you don't have that much time. You need to stop that.
Yeah,
You don't
that's
have
one
that
of
much time.
the runtime on this album is 50 something minutes, like that, which is also not a thing that happens very often anymore either. Especially for not one. This is what 11 songs, 12,
Yeah, so that means each song's about
11.
5 minutes. Like
Yeah,
there'll be none of that.
on average. Yeah,
None of that.
yeah. No, this.
Brilliant, brilliant record.
Hmm. This is.
You know, I be
Go
having
ahead.
record industry thoughts when I hear music. I'll be like, man, I'll be like, this shit is great. Be like, man, they'll never allow this now.
Yeah. No, the interesting thing is that, in one of the many ways that, well, we can talk about Nirvana and Pearl Jam like as a, because the music industry and the music media made it out like they were in competition with each other. They didn't really like each other, and they were kind of ambivalent towards each other for most of the time. But there you can hear that they're coming from very different musical traditions. Like one's coming from the Led Zeppelin-ish tradition, and one's coming from the punk-ish, Beatle-ish tradition, right? So those two things are, and
There's like, in terms of some of, and this is what I mean, the music industry won't let you do that. Like composition wise, though, very similar to some of Nirvana stuff in terms of how the music is actually being composed.
mhm,
If you want to like talk from that perspective, but if you're talking about like sound and ethos, like not necessarily right. Like the ethos kind of too is what separates like that kind of heavy metal from like the punk too. You know
right.
what I mean? So,
Even
but
stylistically about how the bands are arranged. Like the Pearl Jam has two guitarists and neither of them are singing. It has like
right,
a standalone lead singer or whatever. And
right,
Nirvana obviously has the one guitar. Well, at the beginning, Nevermind anyway. They had one guitarist and who
right.
also sang at the same time, right? So it's just a
Correct.
different composition of the band.
Keep going. Next
Right.
record.
This is Alive. It's another one of those riffs.
She said, have I got a little story for you? What you thought was your daddy was nothing but a while you were sitting home alone at age 13. Your real daddy was dying. Sorry you didn't see him, but I'm glad it's all. Oh, I'm still alive. I'm still alive. I'm still alive. While she walks slow across a young man's room, she said, I'm ready for you. Why, I can't remember anything to this very day except the love. Oh, you know where. Now I can see. I just stare. I'm still alive. I'm still alive. I'm still alive.
Is this their best? Is this their best album?
The other album, to me, actually, it's not to me. Their other
It,
albums are very different from this. This
okay.
is certainly the most commercial of them. It's the first
Oh,
one.
hold on. Didn't they do Blood? Hold on. What's
Blood Sugar Sex
uh,
Magic is Chili Peppers.
okay? That's okay. So, because I was about to say, like, there's levels
Hmm.
to this, and most heavy metal bands can't do songs like that.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like that was my thought of that record. It's like, well, if they're a heavy metal band, it's like, well, there's levels to like what you can do, because it's
Yeah.
like that's kind of like, so I am right. That's a crossover record.
Yeah, this
Because
is, I mean, this was one of their big songs, and it is the one from this album that was one of the big hits. The big three for this were Even Flow, Alive, and Jeremy. But like when you see them play, like they've released tons and tons and tons of live shows as albums in the last 15 or 20 years, and this is the song that
smart.
they play the most often,
I was
which
actually
is
about to say, you want to know why? My real take on this song is, oh, this is stadium flow. This is real
mhm.
big stadium flow.
Yeah, it's a huge song, and they pull out that solo for 7 minutes. Like it's the live
No,
version's
that's
almost a
what I
seven to
mean.
ten minute song. Yeah.
This is the peak of your show or the closer to your show.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, it's stadium flow. It's heavy. It's a dope record. And once again, it's like, well, I go back to the structure and the composition. First of all, I want to say, as a hip hop enthusiast, if I was a producer, I'd be taking some of the riffs, bass lines, and drum kicks from all of these records that we've heard. That's just me,
They're
you know.
heavy, man. They're heavy.
They're
Yeah.
hard too.
Yeah.
Like they like I was actually thinking some of the melody,
Hmm.
some of the flow, like the cadence of the
Yeah.
music. What year is this?
91.
So it feels very let the rhythm hit 'em from
Hmm.
Rakim like to me. So that might be musically what's going on with the time in terms of like that kind of pace and intention with the music just
Yeah.
in general. Like you see like where the similarities kind of lie because
Yeah.
some of like because what I'm impressed with mostly is like some of the musical patterns and some of the flows and
Hmm.
some of the deliveries that I'm hearing, kind of like Rakim on Let the Rhythm Hit Him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, well, it's like it's not just what he's saying, it's like the flows and the deliveries and the
Yeah. The
pockets and the
delivery is
pace
really,
of it.
really, really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
unique.
Yeah. It's very there's none of the other Seattle bands do it like that. I don't know there are any other bands that do it like that. The Backstreet Lover on the side of the road, I got a bomb in my temple and it's gonna explode like that.
That's what I'm
Like
saying.
that's yeah.
Right, that's what I mean about
Yeah.
that Let the Rhythm Hit Him, where it's like,
Hmm.
boom, 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 boom.
Hmm.
You know? Yeah,
Yeah. It's very similar to that actually. You're now that you say it, yeah.
yeah.
I've never actually listened to this album. I don't remember it on headphones like this. And
Hmm.
they're doing cool stuff with the channels too. Like one of the guitar solos is all in this side, and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's going back and forth. Like it's
No, no.
really cool.
No, that's happening in my headphones too. That's what I mean about the musical composition being impressive.
Yeah, the way they've done it. This actually is a true story. Alive is like that first verse, the
Okay.
um, where he's talking about his mom coming into his room one time and telling him that the person he thought was his dad wasn't really his dad, and his real dad was dying. His real dad, his biological father, was a lounge singer, so which is where some of the voice comes from.
Oh,
So
hereditary. There it is.
yeah, that's that. Just like um, what was I about to say? Somebody else. Oh, Bono's dad was an opera singer. Like so, um, I mean,
Of
there's a
course.
lot of those kinds
Right.
of things you
Makes sense.
see, right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's an incredible song. I think that don't hold me to this. It's either Even Flow or Alive. One of them, I'm pretty sure it's Alive. Is the video is actually a live performance of this song, whereas one of I think Even Flow was like they overdubbed like the album track on top of a live performance or whatever. I think the video for this one actually was a live version of this song. And this
No,
is
it's
the one
straight.
where I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's in black and white. He's like climbing on the rafters and like dropping down. Oh yeah, okay. That's
Yep.
that's the song. Okay, which goes to your stadium flow
Yeah, it's
argument
stadium
as
flow. It's
well.
heavy stadium flow. Like
Yeah.
you can hear even like the build-ups and the breakdown. It's like
Hmm.
I'm like, oh no, if there's like 50,000 people in an arena
Hmm.
and this is playing and this
Like
and all
it's
of
still
this is
giving me
going on.
chills now. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
No, it's heavy.
something
That's what I
special.
mean about the music of it. It's like, well, they went from like some like hip hop heavy metal fusion on the first two records to just like straight like rock and roll like Tom
Hmm.
Petty ass stadium. That's what I mean about the levels. It's like, oh well, there's levels to this already because I can see the ability to do different things on records within the first three records.
Yeah.
Like I can hear hip hop, rock and roll, heavy metal, and punk on the first three records in
Hmm.
some sort of shape, form, or fashion. So I mean, you know me, you know who my favorite person is. So it's like I love
Hmm.
versatility in music, obviously.
Yeah.
So so my ears are loving what I'm hearing for the first three records, and it's kind of corroborating what you're saying about how this album starts off.
Yeah. It's the beginning of this album is something special, and like it's one of those things that I always sort of said, but I'd forgotten until I pulled it back
Mhm.
up how good it really was. Like
Yeah.
it's good to hear that another music fan who is not maybe as familiar with it can hear it too.
No, no, you can. I mean, like we talk about this all the time. If you got a musical ear, it's like you know great music when you hear it. It really doesn't
Hmm.
matter what you prefer. If you're acquainted, just like with music, know how the system works,
Yeah.
so to speak. Hmm.
All right. The next one's called Wygo. You're gonna hear a little of the punk on here, or punkish. Or, yeah, the
Immediately.
beats.
She scratches a letter
I should have told you ahead of time. That one, I'll go back like 10 seconds because the end of that song bleeds into the next one too. It's an actual transition between two. It doesn't ever actually stop. Um,
This is one of those records that was probably super popular with the teenagers
mm,
who were fans of this music and this style of music when this album came out. Like, like this is one of those what I like to call album banger tracks
yeah.
where it's like, or you can hear it, but you probably had to be there to feel it.
Hmm.
This is one of those, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Like, I bet you, like you said, your sister's 5, 6 years older than you.
My cousin that played it for me. Yeah.
Cousin, your
Yeah.
cousin, you said. So
Yeah.
5, 6 years. So that would make them about 16 when this came out.
Yeah.
I bet you they love this record.
Hmm.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
And
It's
it's
one of
about
those.
yeah.
It's one of those records that it kind of like fits. Like this is one of those things that make you a fan of somebody outside of the single, probably for
Hmm.
that time. That's what I hear, but it's not as brilliant as the first three records. But the first three records are pretty damn impressive, quite
Yeah.
frankly. So
One thing I'm noticing on this listen through is how many different movements are in each of these songs. Like there's
I
different
was actually going to get to that.
pieces to. I mean, you sort of brought it up earlier, but in your like music industry wouldn't let you do this anymore, kind of thing. And
They
but
won't. Not having that
which
at
is
all.
true, which is true. But I'm
They're
noticing
they're
how many different parts of it there are, like how many different
they're
pieces.
they're literally switching the patterns to the music on the sheet, not the words,
Hmm.
like the actual music being
Right.
played
The groove is
is
incredible. Yeah.
that's what I mean. Like it's actually being played very much in the format that like a Beethoven or a Bach would play, like
Hmm.
in terms of like getting on the piano and the and going here and there and then here and there and the switch and
Right.
all that. They're doing the same thing with guitars and drums in terms of like the
Yeah.
composition. It's like that's what I mean. It's like, oh no, I hear the execution. Like these are highly talented musicians.
Yeah. They're incredible musicians. They really
That's what
are.
I mean. It's like, oh no, I like what's really coming through on the album for me so far is the high level of musicianship being shown. Like it's
Hmm.
high because they're doing things on these first four records in terms of how they're playing and transitioning through the flows. That's what I mean. Like, oh, that's easier to do when you've mastered a piano. That's harder to do with a guitar and some
Hmm.
drums and to synchronize it as a band. That's the part that's impressive. It's like, well, one person can, do that, but then you start stacking groups.
Hmm.
Start stacking. I'm not groups. Start stacking people together, and then trying to formulate it and making those transitions
Hmm.
seamless the way that they are. That that's talent.
Yeah. They're underratedly talented too, and whereas in most bands too, I may have my facts wrong, but I think I'm remembering this correctly, that in most bands you have like one guy or one woman who's like the singer songwriter kind of person that writes her songs, brings them to the
The
band.
lead,
Yeah,
the
right, and
lead.
brings the
Yeah,
songs to the band and the band plays them. Right, that's and then they collaborate on the parts and how that fits together or whatever. But usually
right.
there's like one person or two people in like John and Paul and whatever. Like they write the songs, they bring them to the band figures out the arrangements or whatever.
Some of
My
this actually.
understanding of this though is that um, the three um, Stone Gossard, Mike McCready, the two guitarists, and Jeff Ament, the bass player, brought like individual instrumental tracks basically to the group, and then the lyrics were written on top of things that
That's actually
already existed.
Andrew, get out my head. Like, 'cause to be honest with you, the music really sounds like the band played it before the words were formulated.
They did.
Like you can hear it. You can hear that the band played it. It's like it's one of that's what I mean about the mood and the intangible part of it. Like as a singer, it's like, well, I can tell from the format and the construction of it, there's no way not no way, but you can kind of tell when your ear gets to a point when somebody said something first or the band played it first.
Yeah.
And
Or
this very
the
much
guitarist like wrote it and sang it like did
well,
it at
well,
the
this
same
is what I
time or
mean.
whatever. Yeah.
Well, this is what I mean. Yeah, this is what I mean. Where the record really starts off with the band playing,
Mm-hmm.
and then the songwriter or the lead or whatever is like, ooh, oh, like hold on,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like this, and then that's when the magic starts happening. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like that's kind of how I hear it musically when I hear this album. Like I don't hear the guy that like, went to lunch in Manhattan with a girl. She broke his heart. He hopped in a taxi cab, came to the
Right.
studio and was like, I got these. Guess what? I got Julia or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't hear that. I hear like the band was fucking kicking ass and like the dude was like, man, this shit is fire. I'm like, hold on.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. 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 I'm pretty sure that actually the story of because Eddie Vedder wasn't he was a late addition to the band, right? Like the guys had been playing together long before
That makes
he
sense
joined the
too.
band, and
That makes sense too.
I'm pretty sure the story is that they sent him a demo tape, and he recorded some vocals and lyrics on top of a demo that was already recorded, and sent it back to them, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this man's got the shit, right?"
You know what? When you said that, you know what it made me think about? It
Mm,
made me think about when David Ruffin joined the Temptations.
yeah, it's,
It's
it's
like
very much in that kind of yeah.
the Temptations were already kind of like on the verge of some things, and were
Mm-hmm.
already like pretty dope, obviously. But it's like they were missing a front man, like a real front man, like to
Yeah.
put them over the top. They didn't know that they were missing that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't know what you don't know until you hear it, and that's what I
You're
mean
like,
about what
oh,
when they heard David Ruffin, they was probably like, that we don't have that. We need that. Like we need that. We're about to win. So I
mm-hmm.
can kind of even see how that came together. That goes back. Remember when I was just talking about how synchronized it sounds to me?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you just kind of proved my point. You said, well, they were a band for a minute before he even came into the picture. It's like, oh
Yeah,
no, I can hear it from the music that they're playing. It sound. That's what I mean.
they're
These
tight.
people, they're tight. They're
Mm-hmm.
tight. They're in lockstep together. Like as far as the flow and the rhythm of this, they practice. They roll together. They hang together. Like you don't. Even from these first four records, you don't create music like this without being locked in with each other.
Mm-hmm.
They're locked in. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're doing everything together around this time. And bands go through peaks like that because of stuff like this. Like this is probably them reaching their peak. Like how long has Eddie been part of the band
I
when they
have to look
released
it
this?
up. Not long, maybe a year or two.
Right,
Yeah.
right. It feels like he's been in there in the last year or two, right? They so they've already kind of created like a system.
All right. So I'm gonna rewind like a few seconds and let it play
Let it play
into
into the right.
yeah,
You told
because
me.
it goes from that to Black, which is a song that I always teenage me always dreamed of performing in front of a huge audience. It's a sort of
Okay.
a love song, anyway.
She told
My hair's standing up on my arms still. That one took me back, man.
It's a dope ass beat tape. That's what this is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a dope
Yeah.
ass beat tape. That's what I mean. It's like, oh no, like in a hip hop context, it's like, oh no, these beats are dope as fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the canvas of what you're getting to speak on is really, really dope.
Mhm.
You know? And so it matters. Like this band is, you know, not as acquainted with their music, obviously, as
Right.
you are. Like, so they probably are not getting their credit as a band, is my thoughts about 5 records into this album. Like the band, not
Yeah.
the lead guy. Like the lead guy's always gonna get his credit,
Mhm.
you know? Like how good is the band?
Yeah, they're tremendous musicians.
They are. You can hear it. Like it's very, very clear. That's what I mean. It's like, oh, so what, we're about halfway into the album.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got chops. Like he probably heard like the stuff that they sent and was like, whoa, like
Mhm.
this type of shit that'd be like, if I'm not there, I need to step my game up real fast.
Yeah.
This is probably the best written song that I've heard of the 5 in terms of the actual
Yeah.
the prowess of the writer showing itself
Mhm.
on
Yeah.
the record, which is probably why you like it. You probably love the melody, but you probably love the songwriting prowess
Yeah.
of this
This was
song.
definitely teenage me's favorite of the songs,
Yeah,
for sure.
like this is the best written song of the one of what I've heard so far in
Mhm.
terms of like more of a you know that Joni Mitchell, Stevie
Mhm.
Wonder, Prince thing where we're talking about where it's like, oh no, this is songwriter, you know,
Mhm.
or even how you referenced, I think you referenced Paul Simon earlier.
Mhm.
Yeah, where it's like, oh no, okay, so he's a writer too, like he's a singer, but he's a writer.
Yeah. He is.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is. Um, and I can't think of a better outro bridge than like, I know someday you'll have a beautiful life. I know someday you'll be a star up in the sun, sun. I think up in someone else's sky, but why can't it be mine? Like that's, and the mine is kind of stretched out, like, and because that could be in different person's mouth and a different backing band could come off really, really, really fucking cheesy,
Yeah,
and and
it
it's just, oh man.
they they're also great song finishers.
Mm-hmm.
Like they know how to finish the record too. That's what I mean about the band being locked in. It's like, oh no, they're locked in from the moment like that it comes in to like the very, very last string and chord is played. Like they are locked
Yeah.
in. Like because the finishes to these records are stronger
Mm-hmm.
than a lot of what I would say is their contemporaries' best records.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
And
the
they don't
ending
have
matters.
like pop
It's
in
very
like hard endings to many of them either. They kind of fade
Correct. That's what
and
I mean. It's
yeah.
very like that's what I mean about the composition. The composition is more written like an orchestra or an opera style of music in terms of
Mhm.
how they're actually composing it and going through the highs and the lows like you would on an opera or orchestra or at a
Mhm.
symphony even.
Yeah.
Like that's what I mean. Like they're doing like heavy metal symphony shit. That you
Yeah.
know.
And I never really thought about like how the songs fit together before until I'm listening to it now as a 40 something year old as opposed to a
Yeah.
teenager. So,
It's kind of to me playing out and like kind of like telling like a story a little bit.
mhm.
Like it has like I can I haven't totally got the theme, but I can kind of feel what's going on from the artist.
Mhm.
But you know, like I said, it's got great fucking shit to go off of. Like
Yeah. It's I mean, it's young man angst, just done in a different way. Like they're taking their own
well,
stuff.
what you want to know what they're doing? I'm hearing a range and a depth of emotions that you
Mhm.
probably don't get from
Yeah.
most albums, from most bands, period, at the time.
Yeah.
Like as much as I love Nirvana, it's like the ethos is pretty consistent.
Mhm.
This has more range.
Yeah. It's
I'm not saying it's better, but it has more range.
yeah. Nirvana is tends to be bitterly sarcastic, right? I mean, it's kind of wise ass. It's kind of
It's
funny.
very tongue in cheek. It's very
It's very
tongue in
tongue in
cheek.
cheek, and this is much more. And this is something that they took shit for at that time, and probably one of the reasons why they're not talked about in the same stratosphere as Nirvana, generally speaking, is is that there is much more sincere, like and
I
it's
think
like straight from the gut.
Ye- Yeah, it's more personal. It's
Hmm.
definitely more personal. With it being more personal, I guess sometimes being more personal can hurt an artist because when you are internalizing your thoughts and expressing them and making dope shit,
Hmm.
sometimes it doesn't come off as dope to when you have another band that is making something that is more culturally relatable to what's
Hmm.
going on at the time. So the experiences that are being shared on this album are very real and very
Hmm.
sincere and are probably touching people on a more personal level,
Hmm.
but that doesn't trump catching the ethos of a generation
Right.
necessarily. Like your personal ethos isn't going to trump the ethos of a generation. Nirvana's more tapped into the ethos of the generation through through the ethos of their music, whether like right, wrong,
And they help define
or
it too. Yeah.
indifferent. Yeah, they're. I think you know what they are really for their time. They are the tipping point of rock bands.
Hmm.
Like no punk band had ever really been that big.
Right.
You know, like not that I can think of, even based on what I've learned from you.
Now,
So there's
there were others that were important, but not. I mean,
they
the Sex
weren't big
Pistols, the
like this,
Clash. I mean, those kind of bands were like they changed a lot of things,
right? But
but
Nirvana gets mentioned with the Beatles, the Rolling Stones,
right,
and
yeah,
U2. You know what I mean? Like, no, that's different for a punk band to be mentioned with those bands. You know what I mean? Because they are essentially a punk band, correct?
that's the tradition they're coming from.
They
I
come
think they
from
kind of transcended that, but yeah, I mean that's where they're coming
well, that
from.
will
Yeah.
that would be the t tipping point. Is like, well, a punk band transcends into like a Beatles, Rolling Stones,
Hmm.
YouTube type of territory as a band,
Hmm.
and so they're different in that regard. But I tell you what I hear is like, well, being different doesn't make you the more accomplished musician either.
Yeah.
Because even though, like I said, I prefer Nirvana, now I'm listening to this music and I'm like, well, that could be more about the ethos being more tapped into what's more relatable to me. Because I talked to you about how
Yeah.
well Nirvana, the shit Nirvana's talking about, is more relatable in the black
Hmm.
community than
Yeah.
this. you
Yeah.
know, which is why you'll find a lot of black men from my time like me that, you know, are into Nirvana, like Dr.
Mhm,
Dre's favorite rock band or alternative band is Nirvana. Like there's
mhm,
a reason for that. It's because of the things being said. It's like, well, that's, oh no, that's a little dark and a little twisted and a little deep. And I know like all about that a little bit more.
mhm. Right.
So they do touch a lot of touch points in different cultures that maybe Pearl Jam doesn't touch because of that personal ethos. Like
Mhm.
Nirvana's more widespread, but not necessarily more accomplished music wise based on what I'm hearing.
Yeah. There's different things, right? I mean,
You know, different strokes, different folks.
all right. This is probably the most famous of their songs. This was actually a song that was brought to them by the bassist, which you can hear from the opening riff.
Yeah. I mean, a rapper should take this. I take all that.
At home, drawing pictures of mountain tops with him on top. Lemon yellow sun, arms raised in a beam. The dead lay in pools of maroon below. Daddy didn't give attention, oh, to the fact that mommy didn't care. Came down on me, the wicked, oh, ruled his world. Jeremy spoken, yesterday. Jeremy spoken, yesterday. Clearly I remember picking on the boy, seemed a harmless little fuck. But we unleashed the lion, gnashed his teeth and bit the recessed lady's breast. How could I forget? And he hit me with the surprise left. My jaw left hurting, ooh, wide open, just like the day, oh, like the day I heard that he didn't give affection, no, and the boy was something that mommy wouldn't wear. Came down
So I want you to talk to me briefly about the Seattle music scene, because when I referenced Eddie's voice, you referenced the singers coming out of Seattle at the time. I want you to reference their names and the bands, because I realized something even when we were having the Nirvana conversation. Part of why I know Nirvana so well too is because Kurt Cobain was a real thing.
Hmm.
Like him
Yeah.
as a star and as a personality and as a frontman was a real thing. For my white contemporaries that I went to Alexander Graham Middle School with, that's how I
Hmm.
got acquainted with him,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
And so tell me those singers that you listed earlier that you said were coming out of Seattle around the same time, because all of these guys are kind of coming out around the same time. Like,
Hmm.
so, and Seattle isn't but so big. And so, I'm pretty certain these guys have been hearing of each other and have
Oh yeah,
probably heard
they
each
all
other
knew
play
each
the
other.
same
They
show.
played in super groups together. They played in the drummer now for Pearl Jam, like in present tense, real right now is the drummer for was the drummer for Soundgarden. Then, like there's a lot of crossover and that kind of thing. But
Yeah.
the
So,
the
but give me a breakdown
there
of the
there are
artists.
tons of Seattle bands, obviously, but the big four at this time are Pearl Jam, Nirvana, Alice in Chains, and Soundgarden. Those are the four.
Okay, who are their lead singers?
Eddie Vedder is Pearl Jam, Kurt Cobain is Nirvana. You know those two. Lane Staley is the guy in Alice in Chains.
Okay,
Um,
not
who
familiar with Alice in Chains like that, although I'm very familiar with the name.
you would recognize his voice probably if you heard him. Um,
Okay.
we will do one of these. Like I said earlier in the show, the tape that my cousin gave me had Alice in Chains.
Alice in
Well, not
Chains
first
on the
album, but
side.
their breakthrough album on the other side too. So um, that was the other one. That is one of the biggest punches in the mouth for an opening track on that album. We'll talk about that later, but like um it's an incredible record too. It's dark though. Um Lane Staley
So the
was a
group is
heroin
called
Lane
so the
Staley
group's
was a
called
heroin
Alice in
addict too.
Chains.
Yeah.
Well, the group's called Alice in Chains, and Seattle
Yeah.
has a history of having,
Yeah.
drug abuse problems due to
Yeah.
the dark climate and temperate, rainy, consistent weather, 200
Yeah.
days a year. So,
And then Chris Cornell is probably the best singer of the four
Soundgarden.
from Soundgarden, yeah.
Yeah.
And later of Audio Slave too, but most famously of
Ah,
Soundgarden.
okay,
Same
okay.
guy.
So I say that to say, well, those other guys are from Seattle, right?
Hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. Pearl Jam kind of knew that, which is
Hmm.
why they were probably sourcing outside of Seattle because they're probably listening and
Hmm.
around those other guys that you're talking about, and they're
Yeah.
like, we need a guy
Yeah.
that can compete with these guys.
Yeah.
That
Uh,
that's some of my takeaway because it's like for me when I listen to an album like this, especially when you said this is their first album. Oh well, now I'm thinking about the backstory about how all this came to be because when you're like he's coming from San Diego and coming from California, it's like well, what make them do that? And then you started listing off those guys, and I'm like, okay, I'm like, what are those groups again? And it's like, oh yeah, they better fucking do that because they're about to
yeah.
get lost in the sauce if they don't.
Yeah. They
And they
had.
kind of knew that.
Mhm.
So
The other three guys are probably three of the greatest rock vocalists that have ever lived. Like um, I mean, they're not on. They're doing different things than Freddie Mercury. Obviously, I would put him at the top. But like,
Freddie
um,
Mercury as a singer is just better than all
is
almost. I mean, as a singer, he.
he's better
How
than
about
almost
this?
any singer. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
rock
about
and
to
roll
say
or nothing.
has a singer. When you tell me Freddie Mercury, I officially like think of Whitney Houston, and
Yeah. Oh,
so that
he was a bad man. Like he's
so he's yeah.
yeah.
So as a singer, he's incomparable in the way that a Whitney is incomparable. So like vocally, that's not fair
Mhm.
to the rest of the guys.
No, but the four guys, the four Seattle guys, all of them we've talked about this a million times on Mirror Music, but all four of them had great voices, but also all four of them had voices that you knew immediately when you heard them. Like
Yeah,
two measures, like that's Kurt, that's Chris, that's
but
like
but three of those guys are coming from Seattle, though. You know what I
I'm
mean?
pretty sure, yeah, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
that's right.
Hence, you know, the the outsourcing. that Pearl
Hmm.
Jam did to make this happen. So some of those things are like the intangible things that I look at. It's like, oh no, that's like an extra checkpoint for that. That meant they knew
Hmm.
that they were great, but that meant that they also knew that they were probably missing something. And the guys that are around them that are their contemporaries on the scene at the time that are like probably on the verge of record deals or talking to label and like all this stuff is starting to happen for them. They're probably seeing all of that and
Hmm.
like, oh no, we ain't not trying to get left behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can, and not to put too fine a point on it too. This is, I don't want to take it too dark a turn, but Eddie Vedder's the only one that's still living of the four too. All the other three have died by now. So
Are you serious?
I'm serious. Yeah. Yeah.
Just like what? Drug overdose?
Lane Staley was an OD, and the other two were suicide. I mean, Chris Cornell was like in his 50s probably, but like it was,
He committed
yeah,
suicide?
yeah.
All right, we can get back to the music.
That'd be all right. So, what do you think of Jeremy as a song, or like what are
That's
your
the Jeremy song. First of all, why do they call it Jeremy?
just because that's the kid's name, but that's in the song. But
Okay. Is that a true story?
I, not that I know of,
Okay.
but it could be. I think it's a more of a composite kind of story than
It's
a
one
true
of those
story.
things that makes me want to get into the like you can okay, so what I'm hearing is that well I'm hearing the band in the first few songs
Hmm.
and now I'm starting to hear the lead man and the writer and the lyricist that he is
Yeah.
start to come out on the last few songs. So I can see what you mean about this being so impressive to you because I'm hearing the greatness of the band and the greatness of the front man and the writer
Hmm.
in all of that because these last few tracks have been more about the have been just as about have been just as much about the lyricism and the songwriting has the actual music, and I've already stated that the music is brilliant. The
Hmm.
songwriting is matching it. That is obviously very important to making a classic album, no
Yeah.
matter what genre of music that you reside in. And so through these first six records, I can hear why you were such a fan. It does give me, I mean, for what I know of music and how great rock albums start. I'm not saying it's as good as Joshua Tree, but it does give me those vibes in terms of how consistently great the music is to start the
Hmm.
album.
Yeah.
So I understand why you feel that way. Because when you said like ever, I was like, well, ever, because like it's like, well, it's 91. I'm thinking about the stuff that has just come out,
Yeah.
you know, 5 years within a span of 5 years before and 5 years after. And that alone, even in the rock world, is a pretty hard
Yeah.
haul. So, but now I can hear what you're saying as we are, like, I guess crossing over into more than halfway through. I do
Yeah.
hear what you were saying. It is highly impressive. It is also one of those things too that because we're stopping and pausing, I know that this album is great because immediately, probably after like record three or four, it's like I'm gonna have to listen to this whole album in sequence with no interruptions
Yeah.
without having to talk to Andrew about it. The music is like that. So
Yeah. And
I
we're breaking it up, but it does flow from one to the other. I mean that where I played you between Wygo and Black, um,
no, I can
is
hear it.
it there's an actual transition between those two songs. Like the music
I,
doesn't stop, but yeah, it
I can
belongs in this
hear it.
order.
I can hear it, and I can feel it. And that's with us taking stops and breaks. That's the thing of me as a music lover that makes me go, oh no, I want to listen to this album, like after this,
Hmm.
independent of Andrew and like doing the show because the music is like that.
Yeah,
I wasn't, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I wasn't expecting that.
good. Like
And
good that
and
it does
well,
something to
well,
you.
I think, how about this? What you're doing to me right now by playing this album is what I've done to you a lot of the times in the hip hop format
Tons and
in the
tons of times.
last few years, where it's like, oh, I knew about this shit, but I didn't know it was like that.
Yeah,
Like I'm
exactly.
having one of
Exactly.
those moments right now. And so I kind of feel like you have felt at times on the hip hop side where I've been like, no, listen to this. And
Hmm.
you're like, I know about this person. I know about this album. I've even heard a couple of these songs randomly. but I didn't know that it
It was
was
like
like
that. That
that.
yeah.
So yeah, I am having one of those moments that I think I've
That's
shared with
super
you
cool. That's super
multiple
cool.
times. No, I'm like the part of me that's a Nirvana fan is like really like, ooh, this music is really, really good from this band.
Hmm.
Like that's why I keep talking about the composition and the music, like because I'm so impressed by it. It's like, well, I know Nirvana as far as Seattle bands around this time.
Yeah,
So that's
but
my
there's a lot of Seattle stuff going on for sure.
yeah, yeah. There is. I'm not familiar with Alice in Chains at all, really.
Yeah, you might
I am
recognize
familiar
the
with
voice.
Soundgarden.
Yeah.
I
Well,
prob I'm probably going to recognize some of this stuff,
yeah.
but I know who Pearl Jam is.
Right.
I don't really know Soundgarden or Alice in Chains like that, but that's part of what we started doing all of this for. So yeah, so I've been super impressed so far. We can go to the next record.
I just would like to point out before we move on to the next one too that this album, Blood Sugar Sex Magic, the Chili Peppers album, Nevermind, and Metallica's Black album were all released within a month of each other in
Okay,
August and
so
September of '91.
so how about this? For me, more familiar with Nirvana and the Red Hot Chili Peppers,
Hmm.
like always.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. All right. So this is this is Oceans.
Hold on to the thread. The currents will shift. Glide me towards you. Know something's left, and we're all allowed to dream of the next. You don't have to stray the oceans away. Waves roll in my thoughts. Hold tight the ring. The sea will rise. Please stand by the shore. I will be there once
All right. It's a much shorter one for sure.
That's definitely for me when I hear it, that's one of the first records that was probably recorded.
Might be. I don't have any idea.
Yeah, yeah. I want to start doing some backstory on this. I want to check up on this more. This is what I mean when I'm saying this is a dope ass beat tape.
Hmm.
Like that feels like something that you send an artist and an artist sends you some vocals back and you're like, oh no, like let's go record that.
Hmm.
And then that's when the magic starts happening where it's
Yeah.
like, let's do that. it's not as great as the previous 6 songs, but it's a necessary album track. The hip hop enthusiast in me loves the cadence and the pattern and the
Hmm.
flow. Like you can rap to that.
Yeah. It feels like a Led Zeppelin song to me. Like some of the Led Zeppelin has songs like this. It's not like a whole lot of love song, but there's plenty of songs that they have later in their career that have this kind of feel to them for sure.
Yeah, and also too, I think okay, so Eddie might be more of a lover than a fighter than his contemporaries coming
Hmm.
around
I
this
would say
time
that's
too.
probably true. Yeah.
You can hear that in the writer too, and that's what I mean. Well, there's levels to this, and so he might not be um he probably isn't viewed as a writer
Hmm.
the way Kurt Cobain is,
Correct. Yeah.
but there is something to his writing that is very internalized and beautiful in a sense,
Hmm.
where it does connect to certain audiences. I just don't think it has the mass appeal.
Yeah.
Like, and when I say mass appeal, I mean like, that next level of appeal that makes you like a diamond selling artist and like, and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see. I don't even know how many albums this has sold worldwide. It's many, but
It might be diamond.
it might be
The music's there. Very impressed. Definitely gonna put it in the queue.
good. Good. I love that. It's one of the
Yeah.
ones that I always think about pulling back up because it does touch lots of like teenage. I mean, the content's teenage angsty too, but like it also pulls back those emotions for me too.
Almost all great music from eras is teenage angst expressed beautifully from people who are actually exiting usually their teenage years.
Hmm.
Like it's usually not done at 16 or 17. It's usually done like 19, 20, 21, 22
Right.
when you've kind of like, developed like literally mentally a little bit more.
Hmm.
That's the psychology to it, and that's
Yeah.
a
It's
whole other thing.
13 million in the U.S. anyway. That's not worldwide. Which is pretty substantial.
Pretty damn impressive.
Yeah,
Yeah, they got a diamond plaque.
they do. They do.
Yeah, not a lot of people walking
They have
around with
more
that.
than one too. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure the next two albums sold that many too. They're not nearly as famous, or they're stylistically pretty different. I think, but
That's crazy that you can be multiple diamond and not be the biggest like rock group of your generation.
yeah,
So maybe they're
they're
not getting enough credit.
yeah. It's like I said, one of the things that in a Nas kind of way, like their legacy is still changing because they're the only one of those groups from that time that's still recording
Yeah, that's because
albums and
everybody else's
still
lead singer's
performing and
dead.
still
Right.
yeah, right. So
Right. Everybody else is dead.
yeah, so
Ugh. Ugh.
which is such a bummer. But I
It's
mean,
sad. No, but when you said that, it made me sad. It's like, damn. So that's what I mean. So I get what you're saying with the Nas comparison because his legacy gets to continue to live and evolve
right.
because he has,
Hmm.
as I'm wearing a Biggie shirt. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
And he didn't get to right. So
Right. I know. This is my immediate thought was the guy's whose shirt I'm wearing, like up under my bathrobe. It's like, well, he didn't get to continue his legacy, and so we're just left with what we're left with. And so there is something to say about getting your legacy to continue on, because then I do think about a Stevie Wonder, I do think about a Prince, I do think about a Michael Jackson that transcended from literally kid, teenager to adults,
right.
like, megastar. It's like, yeah, that's, Prince's first album is when he's 19, 20 years old, so it's teenager to,
You get to see all
yeah,
of those things.
you get to see all those things in pieces and parts. So yeah, I mean, so what do you think of Pearl Jam all time as a band before we go to the next song? Just real quick from you, like with some of the stuff that we're saying and some of the stuff that I'm hearing, and the fact that you're telling me that these guys may have went diamond 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. At least I mean at least this time. Diamond's 10, right?
Correct, diamond's 10. That's what I mean.
Um
That's a lot. Like if you're going diamond multiple times, it's like whoa, like hold on, like
I'll
people.
have to check. The next two very well might have. The next two would have overlapped with you know they had this whole feud with Ticketmaster. Is that part of your like knowledge of them or no?
I vaguely remember
Okay,
that.
they thought Ticketmaster is a scam, which not
They're
wrong,
not wrong. They're not wrong.
but
They're not
that
wrong.
for the tours after the tour for 10, they wouldn't use Ticketmaster to sell their tickets, so they took lots of hits, and then I think they got freaked out by the fame a little bit, and instead of doing what
Like,
Nirvana did, which is explode, I said, I'm not making videos anymore. I'm not doing any of the publicity. I'm not
oh, they
doing
did
any of this
that.
stuff.
They
Yeah.
did that.
So,
I think
uh,
that's always stupid. But like I get like the artist part of it, but okay, so this is what I mean. I think that's stupid. It's like, oh, Prince didn't pull some of the shit that he did till he sold like 36 million records worldwide and did like a big motion picture and like built his own compound and it amassed like an amount of generational wealth and went diamond. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
mhm,
no, it's like you do have to play the game first,
yeah.
like for a long time,
Hmm.
a long time,
Yeah.
not like
The
an album or two.
Right. So no versus, and I guess Vitology, which are the next who didn't do Diamond. That was versus
I
was
feel like
7.
I'm about to say if
Versus
you
was
told me
7.
about those albums 6, 7 million, it's like
Yeah.
okay, because it's hard to go diamond multiple
Yeah.
times if you're not,
Uh, it
yeah, a
set
few people.
it did set the record. It sold almost 1 million in the first 5 days. But like 950,000 the first
I
5 days.
think I remember something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Like I think I do remember that. Remember the
They
MTV News shit? I feel like yeah, because I
yeah.
used to watch that.
And they weren't like, and people were like not turned off by the second album, but it is stylistically pretty different. Like, so it's definitely not as anthemic. It's not as, the songs aren't as big, like as stadium flow as the term you would use,
I
but
mean,
they're
first of
not
all,
that kind of way.
these songs are pretty big. It's hard to do that for two straight albums
Yeah.
for anybody, like anybody. Like that. Okay, so even so, let's go to Michael Jackson. It's like, well, people are like, well, Off the Wall and Thriller just have all these bangers on it. Yeah, but it's like two totally different styles of music. It's
Yeah.
like one is kind of like disco
Yeah.
R&B
Yeah, and they're
fusion.
both
Another one is
great,
like
but they're not the same thing.
not the same thing. Off the Wall and Thriller are not the same thing. They're both indisputable classics, but very
Yeah.
much like if we're talking about style wise and song wise and genre wise, where you would
Hmm.
put it. It's like I don't even know if I would classify either album necessarily as R&B even.
Yeah.
You could make that argument. So
Yeah. It was
some other shit.
those other two, like their second and third albums, Vitology and Versus in the other order, were the first and second fastest selling albums in history at that time. Which, so they did the third album did 877 in the first week, 877,000 in the first week.
Well, they were really,
Um,
really big.
yeah, they were huge, huge, huge. It's been so. Versus the second album was 7 times, and Vitology was 6. So they're
That sounds about right.
yeah. Um,
Yeah, 1376. But that's 26 million albums
that's
in all three up. That's
yeah,
pretty, yeah.
yeah, and that's just in the United States too. That's not worldwide.
Hmm.
So that's not Michael Jackson's stratosphere, but it was a very big time for sure. But nobody's in Michael Jackson's stratosphere except for the Beatles. Anyway, so this is
Correct.
called Porch. This is honestly one of my favorite current Pearl Jam songs too. It's not current, obviously, but like I love the
It's
way.
aged on you well.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
What the fuck is this world? Run into you didn't leave a message, at least I could have learned your voice one last time. Daily mind feel this could be my time by you. Would you hit me? Would you hit me? All the bills blow by and initiatives are ticking off by the middle. There ain't gonna be any middle anymore, and the
Beat tape.
Beat tape. Yep, beat tape. There. This is what I mean about a beat tape. It's like, okay, so some of your best rap albums, like you hear the lyrics and you hear the lyricist over it,
Mm,
but you're like, man, this is just a great beat tape. So let's
mm,
go back like to Wu-Tang Clan. It's like, no, like Into the Wu-Tang's a great beat tape.
mm,
Only built for Cuban links, Liquid Swords. Those are great beat tapes where it's like,
mm.
well, the beats are just like so consistently phenomenal that it's
Yeah.
like, well, if you have a talented artist, it's like, well, depending on the talent of the artist is the level that it's really going to go to because the soundscape and the
Mm-hmm.
backdrop and the canvas that they're getting to speak on is
Mm-hmm.
consistently great. And and
Yeah.
and and sometimes great is just interesting,
Yeah.
like where it piques your ears musically. And
Yeah.
so these records for me are consistently piquing my musical ear.
That's
That's what's
great.
standing out about 'em. That
Yeah.
that's the thing that I'm really taking away from this album is that my musical ear is super attracted to everything that I'm hearing. I'm hearing high quality music on literally every record that I've
Mm,
heard so far.
that's great. I'm loving. I'm loving the flashbacks, like to being a kid, but also, um, I still the same cousin actually is, um, a huge Pink Floyd fan. And I still
The
remember her.
Wall.
Dark Side of the Moon was her shit, particularly. And I still, I mean, I probably was 20 when she told me the story, and she was 25 or 26 or something like that. And she told me that she listened to Dark Side of the Moon once on like BMW manufactured speakers, like big ones, like in a room, like, and
Hmm.
she said I probably heard that album 2,000 times or something like that. And I was hearing stuff on those speakers that I'd never heard before, that were in there. And listen, I've never listened to them. These are not high quality headphones, but they're pretty good. And like I'm hearing stuff in here that I've never heard in there before. Like the slides that go back and forth, it jumps from channel to channel, and it's just a cool experience.
Like has a music lover. And this is what I mean when I tell people it's like, no, I need to listen to something three different times
Mm-hmm.
in three different places, preferably on three different audio systems,
Yeah,
so that so that your ears aren't being tricked.
yeah,
Like, like, and man, there's songs that I listen to sometimes I've literally been listening to my whole time, my whole life, I'm sorry, and I'll hear it and I'll be like, oh, I've never heard that before. But that's because when I listened to that album, I was listening to that album in this, you
mm-hmm.
know. So
Yeah,
there are certain things that I still catch, even with some of those hip hop albums that I love so much that I talk about. Part of
right.
why I've been able to review them so well, it's like, oh, well, no, the 16, 17, 18, 19-year-old, 20-year-old in me wouldn't be able to review it as well. I was listening to them on a $50 Sony Discman
Right.
with a shitty little speaker on it, like, and then I got a car, and then like my cousin had a system, and then we had a studio with speakers, and it's like, to
Right.
be
It's
honest with
it's
you,
different worlds. This guy sounds good everywhere.
it is my musical ear grew so much from my studio time, but that's because I had to listen to it in so many different formats.
Hmm.
I would have to listen to it in the studio on the big speakers, quote
Right.
unquote. And we always kept like high quality equipment, but then I would listen to it in my car. Then I would listen to it in my cousin's car. But then the other homies would have it in their car. Then I would
Hmm.
have, this pair of headphones. And then I would have that pair of
Right.
headphones. And so you start listening to music and all the things, and what you'll find is the music that is consistently great. Oh no, it sounds great everywhere, and you need to hear it
Hmm.
everywhere.
Yeah. I love the story. This is a sidebar, but that's what is this show if not sidebars, right? Um, the Dave Grohl,
Pause.
Nirvana's drummer, um, would say when they were doing the early Foo Fighters records and all the Foo Fighters records really is that they would like record it in the studio. They'd listen to playback in the studio, the perfect huge speakers, um, the incredible stuff that they had in the studios that they had in the home studios or whatever. I mean, they would have to, or he would make them like burn it on a CD or something like that, and they would play it through like not shitty phones, shitty car speakers, but like the factory sound system in a car, because that's how a lot of people are going to be listening to it. You want to make sure that it sounded good there too, and
Yes.
not just sounded good because it was playing on $100,000 speakers or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No, that it
it's got to
matters.
sound
So
good everywhere.
that's okay. So that's where Dr. Dre kind of became the greatest hip hop producer of all time. Is that when his shit was coming through your car speakers, which is where the majority, I mean,
Right.
I can't speak for the white community, but for the majority of black people, where you ride around and listen to your music is in your
Mm.
car, not at home,
Yeah.
not at work. Just
Right.
think about the style of music that's being made and the time that it's being made. Well, that's not something you could, like, you can play
You
the
can't play
Chronic
chronic.
probably at work. Like, you could probably play it now because it's 2026, but back in 1992, you
Mm-mm.
couldn't play that shit at work. You
No.
couldn't, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could, so it's
Rental
like you played it in,
advisory.
yeah, you played it
Yeah.
in your car. So when Nothing But a G Thing comes on, it's like, no, musically, we had never heard anything like that clean hit our speakers before.
Mm.
And like the big cars that we were, and this is around the time when guys got systems in their cars, like a motherfucker got two tens in a box, a 15 in the
Right.
trunk. It's like, and
Shaking.
so
Yeah.
it's shaking. And so when Nothing But a G Thing comes on, it's almost like this hiss and this crispness
Yep.
that you had never heard before when it came through the speakers. And that's where Dre separated himself. It was the
Mm.
sound coming through the speakers. It was like, oh shit, it's like this shit sounds so clean. Like it's still
Yeah.
knocking the way I want it to knock, but it sounds clean. It's like, how is he doing that?
Doing both of
But
those things at once. Yeah.
yeah, but here's something that I know. Oh no, I used to listen to the Chronic in my headphones. It
Hmm.
sounded nothing like when I was riding around with my
Yeah.
mom and her friend listening to it in the car for the first time. It wasn't the
Right.
same experience.
Yeah.
No.
They're different things, and it's got to work all the ways. I would highly recommend listening to Pearl Jam's 10 in your car too. It's a
Oh no,
good it's a
I'm
great
already,
car record.
I can already tell. Like this is what I mean. I can tap into the mind of it, and I can see the generation that's before us putting this tape in their car and riding
Mhm.
to this shit
Yeah.
because it's like that. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
I can see that, I can feel that through the music. It's like, oh no, like your cousin and her friends, they were just putting this tape in and you could just go.
Hmm. Yes.
hmm
Absolutely. All right. Next track is called Garden.
Like this was like your Friday night pregame.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like before
Hmm.
you went to like whatever little party was going on junior or senior year, like you put
Hmm.
this tape in when you were headed to the party.
That actually reminds me. I remember at Piedmont, we went on which place did we go? We went on like a big like trip, like a class trip every year. And in 6th grade it was, I don't remember where, but um we I remember the guys I was rooming with, um and I remember one of the kids, and you remember at this time we're what, 11, 12 years old, right? So you have to bear that in mind when we're telling the story. But like, we're staying in the hotel room. I think there are four of us, and I remember one of them getting really mad because he had planned on like having a Pearl Jam party or whatever, like listening to that whatever, and we had turned on a movie instead, and it kind of, I think it was The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, I believe is what we watched, and it kind of
Rebecca De
got away
Mornay.
from us that evening. But it's that's just a memory that goes along with this album. I was like, I wanted to listen to Pearl Jam, and obviously it was a very upsetting moment for 11-year-old or 12. I think he's 12. I think we're 12 at that time, but like, we're little
You
kids.
know,
So
so many people that have influenced my life came from Piedmont. It's
yeah,
funny. Yeah. hmm
it's a really really cool place. This next song is called Garden.
Y'all were like the middle school.
Yeah, still are.
The direction of the eye, so misleading. The reflection of the
I like
soul,
this shit.
Very
cautiously.
Zeppelin-y.
I don't question or existence. I just question all modern
Hold on, stop for a second, Andrew. So the band is controlling the first half of the album, but he's taking over the second half.
Hmm.
The band runs the first half of the album. He's running the second half. Like he's getting his shit off on the second half of the album. Keep going.
Yeah, I agree.
I will walk with my hands bound. I will walk with my face, Lord. I will walk with my shadow plan into your garden store. After all is done and we're still alone, I won't be taken. Then I'll go with my hands bound. I will hold with my face, Lord. I will hold with my shadow plan into your garden
Like you saw in real time. It's good, man. Um, you saw in real time, like when I turned it back on, I would like raise my hands up over my head like that. Like that's just like I didn't even. That was not a planned thing. That was just like a visceral reaction to it. Like it's when that chorus hits the first time, it's a it's a wave.
So when we were talking about artists having songs ready,
Mm-hmm.
This was probably the first record that I heard where I felt like he might have started the song and they
Mm-hmm.
played around his vocals,
Could be.
if
I
that
don't know
makes
the
sense.
story of it, but it's.
Yeah, like I'm just telling you, like what I hear, like from based on what I'm hearing from the album,
Mm-hmm.
like it sounds like that might have been constructed around vocally something he had done or was
Mm-hmm.
doing or wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are certain moments in the song where they're really like building the construction of the
Mm-hmm.
uptick and the breakdown based on his vocals.
Yeah.
A lot of these breakdowns and chords and riffs and some of the highs and lows and cadences we're talking about, I can hear that they're already built in. They had
Mm-hmm.
already kind of played it probably. This feels something like more constructed in the moment around his
Yeah.
vocals.
It might have been more ad
And it's
libbed for sure.
yeah, and it feels like something my thought on this record actually is like, oh, you could move this record further up in the album.
Mm-hmm.
And the album wouldn't miss anything. Like you could swap this out with some of the songs. Like you could swap this out and make this the second record or the fifth record,
Mm-hmm.
and it would still hit the same.
Yeah.
That's actually one of my favorite records. What's that one called?
It's called Garden.
I like that one.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, yeah.
It's, I feel it was always a running joke. Well, I used to play songs like in my classes much more often than I do now because everybody's got headphones and everybody's got their own whatever, and it's kind of more closed off. But
Hmm.
um, it was kind of a running joke that I would say, "Oh, this song's my favorite. This song's my favorite." This one, like they're like, dude, they can't all be your favorite, but yes, 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 they can. I feel like I'm saying that in this album too. Like this is they're all good songs, all of them.
I've had this talk many times over the years of podcasting. Your best albums, you go through phases of what your favorite songs
Exactly.
are. You go through the phases of what the greatest songs are. So it's crazy. I'm still doing that with the Purple Tape
Mm-hmm.
after all these years. It came out when I was 13
Yeah. So
years
30 years.
old.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came out 30 some odd years ago, and I'm still, I mean, going on 31 years now, and I'm still,
Mm-hmm.
when it came out, I was like, these are the three best records. And like those three records, those aren't even the three best records to me anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you go through the phases. That's the mark of a great album when you go through the phases of how much you love different songs at different times because they hit you at different points and different
Yep.
times in your life. That's the range of emotion that classic albums have.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is one that is often talked about as one that was really popular in its time, but doesn't isn't talked about in the same breath as Nevermind and like the huge ones. And part of the reason I wanted to do it is because I think it kind of belongs in that echelon.
It's
Um,
definitely not getting enough credit. Like I told you, I'm highly impressed with what I want to hear of musically. Part of me was actually having an idea on the spot that we might need to do a compare and contrast of some classic albums. Like we might need to compare this to Nevermind and like really see like where it
mhm.
like really like stacks up because I hear something just based on what we're doing that it's like, oh no, this might not be Joshua Tree or Nevermind, but it might deserve to be mentioned in that stratosphere. And maybe as reviewers and people that know music, we need to unpack why it's not considered to be in that stratosphere. Because sometimes it's just literally about the time that you
Yeah.
come along. And I talk about this all the time. It's like, well, Kevin Durant has been climbing up the NBA scoring list
Hmm.
like in the last 2 years. He's literally right behind Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant right now.
Yeah. He's
But
way at the
nobody's,
top.
yeah, he's getting up there. Like the only guys ahead of him are literally, I think it's Mike, Kobe, Karl Malone, Kareem, and LeBron.
Yeah.
Nobody's talking about it. This is LeBron's era. This is kind of Steph's
Right.
era too.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh no, Kevin Durant's like scored 30 points like the last three straight games. It's like when Steph does that and LeBron does that,
Yeah.
documented
Yeah.
on Sports Center. They're talking about it the next day, be like, he just scored 30 straight points at, such and such age. And so sometimes it is just about the personality and who people are
Hmm.
drawn to,
Yeah.
not necessarily what you do. And that's why it's important that people like us kind of like review and document and kind
Yeah.
of compare these things because Like the music lover in me is kind of like disappointed that I'm not familiar with this album, quite
Yeah.
frankly. But I like
I
being
don't want you to be disappointed, but I'm glad that we're getting acquainted. Like it's an
no, I like
important
it.
thing.
It is from those moments that you feel ashamed and embarrassed about the things that you know that you actually grow.
Yeah. And I
So
don't
it's
want you to
like
be
me as a
ashamed, but like I like
no, like me.
introducing new
So
things though.
well, when I say ashamed, I mean it in a healthy way.
Yeah.
I don't mean it like in a way of like, oh no, like I need to know this. It's one of those things. It's like,
Like, I
damn, I
can't believe
missed
I've
this.
been missing this for
Right. It's
yeah,
like, damn, it's like I've been missing this. It's like, oh no, like I'm slipping. It's like I need to, I need to be more aware as a music lover.
exactly.
And that's the
Exactly.
beautiful thing about music. And this goes back to even what I'm saying. It's like, well, I haven't even really been listening to hip hop like that this year because I'm a music lover too.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So the music lover in me is like, oh no, I missed this one because I've caught a lot of the stuff from this era,
Right.
like vicariously and by strays. I mean, quite frankly, some of it is from growing up and quite frankly being academically inclined and thereby being in classes with a lot of white people.
All right. This song's called Deep.
Where are we at? We track 10?
This is 10 of 11. Yes.
Yes.
Last one's really long, but yes.
Perfect album.
On the edge, a windowsill. Wanda says make her. Wanda says will to the street below.
This is what I mean about how accomplished they are. You see how they started and how
Hmm.
easy and quick that transition
Yeah.
seamlessly.
And that happens in
Like
a lot of these
like
songs too,
It's
actually.
happening in almost all the songs. That's that high quality that I'm talking about, where it's like it just happens. Like I've been listening to music for a long time. Like it is the ease at which it is happening that I am catching. That's the mark of a band being in lockstep. When I'm talking about, man, these guys are fucking locked in. It's like the
Hmm.
drops and the transitions are happening so seamlessly that my musical mind is having trouble catching the drops. Like
Yeah.
I know when the drop is supposed to happen, and they're dropping it so cold and so on time and so perfect. Like, like those are the nuances. Like, how about this? I bet you industry people love this fucking album in the rock world and swear by it.
Mm.
Like, I
I bet
bet you
they do.
other artists, I like other artists probably revere this album more than your fan reveres this album. The quality of what they are doing as musicians is so incredibly high, Andrew. Like, it's so incredibly high. Like, during the course of this show, I probably stopped myself about 15 times and been like, oh, they're doing that.
Yeah, and they would and this is not an album. I don't think. No, I don't know about the recording, whatever, but I'm pretty sure they played this live in the studio. I don't think this is like a punching in, punching out kind of deal.
That's
This
what I mean
is
about the being lockstep. No, you
overdubbing,
can
whatever.
tell. No, you can tell they're not punching or overdubbing because it is happening
Mm.
like it's happening on the reel in real time
Yeah.
too. They're not playing these reels back. They're getting these reels right. That's what I'm
Hmm.
saying. There's not like a snap or a catch or a hesitation. What I mean, they're not even missing this shit by a quarter second, Andrew. They are on
It's right
time.
on. Yeah.
It's right on. Yeah, keep going.
I pulled it back just a few seconds so we can hear it again.
Yes, a windowsill. Wanda says make her. Wanda says will to the street below. He just ain't nothing, but he's got a great view, and he sings a need of thee. Oh, it touched the bottom into the deep.
Okay.
clean love.
That shit right there. So we can go like that one. So
Young
this would be
virgin from heaven, visiting hell to the man above her. She just ain't nothing. She doesn't like the view. She doesn't like the view. She doesn't like the view. But he sings himself deep. Oh, and comes the bottom into deep. Oh, and comes the bottom. And comes the bottom deep.
hey. Yeah, I'm here. I'm actually doing a Wikipedia on 10 right quick. So check this out.
Yeah.
So it's first of all, their band before that was called Mother Love Bone.
Yeah,
So
the three musicians, or not Eddie
yes,
Vedder, but like the yeah, and
yes,
I
Jeff.
was going to tell that story in just a minute too. Go ahead, give the people the information though.
Well, so bassist Jeff Ament, guitarist Stone Gossard, and their newest guitarist Mike McCready, who I'm
Yeah,
actually familiar with
yeah.
already. The group recorded a 5-song instrumental demo tape that included contributions from Matt Cameron on the drums. Copies of the demo were eventually given to drummer Dave Cruson and vocalist Eddie Vedder, both of whom were invited to audition for the band in Seattle.
Yeah.
Listen to this. Many of the songs on 10 were instrumental jams or reworked Mother Love Bone songs for which
See,
Vedder composed new melodies and lyrics. What did I tell you when I said when I heard this shit, I heard that they already had fucking made these
Mhm.
beats.
I told
I
you that.
could
Yeah,
hear
yeah.
it.
I mean,
Yeah,
after you said it too, I confirmed that. Yeah. Mother
yeah.
Love Bone, the guy that
Go
was the
ahead,
lead
talk
singer
Mother
for
Love
Mother Love
Bone.
Bone was named Andrew Wood, and he OD'd too at a very young age. Um,
Seattle
yeah.
strikes again.
There's something else I was going to say
Listen,
too,
it
but yeah.
it says that the album draws
I do
compare.
remember too. I do. Hold on, just a second. I do remember
Go ahead.
Matt Cameron, the guy they said drummed on those tracks, is their drummer now. But
Oh,
was Soundgarden's drummer too. Um,
so they so they
Soundgarden's original drummer and Soundgarden's drummer
so
for
they
the entire run of their career too.
right.
So
So
there's a
like I
lot of
said,
crossover.
they said the work had rock and grunge influences, but drew comparisons to Jimi Hendrix and Led Zeppelin. I
Which is what.
referenced Jimi Hendrix, you referenced Led Zeppelin.
Yep.
So I'm just doing this, like, the stuff that we've been saying is, pretty spot on by what we're hearing. So we're not wrong about what we're hearing. The only
No.
thing about it is that it actually got a slow start. It didn't pick up until a year
No.
after it was out.
Yeah. It didn't kick off the same way. Like, Nevermind was like an avalanche, right? And it
Yeah.
so, and this one was more of a slow build, which is very much like their career was too, actually, and career has been.
Look, so Eddie Vedder got a copy of the demo from Red Hot Chili Peppers drummer Jack Irons. Vedder listened to the demo, went surfing, and wrote lyrics the next day for Dollar Short, A Geishan Cave, Footsteps.
Mm-hmm.
Those were later retitled Alive and Once.
Yep. Yep.
So this kind of happened the way that we thought that it
Yeah.
sounds like the way that it sounds. This is what I mean about when you have a musical ear. No, the way that it sounds is actually the way that it happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like think about it. Like you knew it, but I didn't knew it, but I could hear it. I'm like, oh no, they too fire from beginning to end. He had to
Yep.
jump in and jump on these tracks. They're like, no, dude, we already got shit. And
Yep.
then that goes back to the fact that it's like, well, their drummer just, oh, I mean, their lead vocalist just OD'd the year
Mm-hmm.
before, so they
So
were
they were looking
probably
for a
all.
new guy. Yeah.
Well, they probably looked at it. That probably took about a year. So their lead vocalist, what's his name, OD'd in
Andrew Wood
1990.
is his name.
Andrew Wood, he OD'd in 1990,
Yep.
and so this album is coming out in what, fall of
September 91.
91?
Yeah.
So fall of 91. So it probably took them about 6 months to, you know,
Mm-hmm. Sure.
and then started sending this stuff out, which probably took another 2, 3 months. And then they probably heard those two songs that are wrote. Alive was probably the one that made them go like,
Oh.
think we got a guy,
Mm-hmm.
think we got a guy, and boom, boom, boom.
Yep.
Yeah, beautiful
Absolutely.
thing.
I see the world, feel the chill. Which way to go? Windowsill. I see the words on a rocking horse of time. I see the birds in the rain.
That's how it's supposed to end.
Yeah, yeah.
So this sometimes, ignorance is bliss. So they're super young, super talented,
Mhm.
but they know how to compose a whole album like this. Like, think
Yeah.
about the first song, think about the last song, think about the album making ability and the juxtaposition of just those two records.
Mhm. Yeah, just the first and
That
last. Yeah.
if you can just like go play the
Takes you
brilliance
on a
from the
journey.
first.
Yeah.
So I remember Missy said that her a classic album is when an artist or a group or a band or whatever
Mhm.
takes you into their world
Mhm.
and delivers not like delivers the good on what their world is,
Mhm.
essentially is what she was saying, just to kind of paraphrase it. This is what this album is.
Yeah.
Like, it's a accurate depiction of their world as musicians, as artists, as the front man, as a lyricist. It's an
Mhm.
accurate depiction. Like, I feel acquainted with the group after just listening to this.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
I
exactly what you want, right? Yeah.
that's everything that you want in the album. That's that connectivity that a classic album is going to have, where you connect to the artist and to the people in that group and that band some sort of how, some sort of way. But for some reason it'll connect with you. Like for me, what connects with me is just how well put together it is,
Mhm.
how accomplished the musicians are, how on time they are, how seamless it is, how dope the fucking beats sound, the flow of the actual album. You can
Mhm.
tell it was put together professionally by somebody who was listening to these records, but made
Mhm.
sure that these records flow and told the story that it needed to tell
Yeah.
and tell the story properly without you feeling like, well, I kind of feel like the story gets stuck right here or it stops right
Yeah.
here. Like, no, like even
Like you
though
don't
we've
need,
been
or you
stopping,
don't need that part or whatever, right? Yeah.
right, even though we've been stopping, the story has still been going. That's brilliant to me.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, super happy we did this. And I can understand why you would want to do this,
Yeah.
Matt.
It's something that I knew you weren't as familiar with. Like just from our conversations, it's not something that would have come that had come up,
Nope,
and
haven't.
um, and it was also, like I said, one of my entrance points to this kind of music too. So,
No, it's
um,
perfect choice.
and I wanted this show generally to be not just this episode, but generally this show to be like I haven't listened to this in a long time, like, but it's something that I
Hmm.
really, really loved and really, really listened to a lot when I was a kid, and I wanted to hear how it changed. I thought it was a cool thing because we get both of our perspectives. One from somebody who is not as familiar with it or hasn't listened to it 700 times or whatever, and one from somebody who used to listen to it a lot but hasn't in a long time, and see how, like you talk about classic albums, it changes. They change, like what you hear changes as you get older, right? Like it
Hmm.
hits you in different ways as you
Hmm.
listen to it in different times, and I wanted to see how it hit 44-year-old me as opposed to 12-year-old me. So
No, absolutely. So I go back to the Into the Wu-Tang thing. It's like some of that stuff that was going on. 13-year-old me is like, oh my God.
hmm
But there are also some parts now where like 44-year-old me is like, oh no, I don't love the torture skit before Method Man.
right.
You know? Like
hmm
I don't love it anymore. Like before it's like I thought it was cool. I thought it was funny. It's like
yeah
I'm 44 now. It's not as
uh,
cool. It's not as funny. It's not as entertaining. There are the parts of you that grow with stuff
right
like that part of it too, of understanding. It's like, oh no, it's still a classic. It's just not how my life is built anymore.
right
And you learn to
yeah
appreciate those part of the music
yeah
too, even with the artists that you've grown with and understand. The artist isn't in that place either and probably
right
thinks and feels the same things you do. Like,
yeah
oh shit, like we really put
yeah
that on there. Like
and
if
I
Method Man and Raekwon could go back with the brands that they've built, they didn't know it was going to be a brand. Like they inherently, because it's important to the album, probably wouldn't have done that skit.
right
But I'm sure they have moments where they go back and listen to that album, listen to that skit, and it's like, yeah, we was some fucking kids. You know what I'm
yeah
saying?
yeah yeah one of the and this is a good place to close, I think. um, One of the only controversies about the album was that. Have you heard of the song called Yellow Ledbetter? Does that name sound familiar at all? Okay.
No.
It's most famous for having reasonably unintelligible lyrics, but it was a song that was also written. They released it as a B-side to I forget which one of the singles from this album, and it's arguably one of the most famous songs from this like album session. And so the debate was they had an argument about whether they should put the song on the album at all or not, and they didn't, obviously, but it became a
Urban
thing.
legend.
Yeah. I'll play a tiny little bit of it, and then we gotta get out of here. I just want you to see if you recognize it.
I do.
Yeah. Okay. They play this as their like encore concert closer a lot now. It's one of their famous guitar riffs, one of the most famous guitar riffs.
I know exactly what it is.
Yeah.
I actually know this better than almost everything that's on the album.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's one of the most famous.
Yeah. So here's what I will tell you.
Yeah.
So here's what I'll tell you. There's nothing wrong with this album.
Mm-hmm.
With that record not being on this album,
Mm-hmm.
that sometimes is the difference between a top 20 album all time and a top 50 album all time.
Yeah. And the conversations I've heard them, I mean, they had an interview. I think it was Howard Stern did the interview with them in the last few years, where he asked about why didn't you put this on there, and they said it was a debate, and it sounded sort of kind of ish like they regretted
Like the outro.
Yeah,
it sounds like the outro too. But how about this? Even replacing the outro and making that your outro elevates the album to a different status.
Yeah.
As great as the outro is.
Even if you just put it after, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. Even if you make that the outro and then like make that the record after the outro,
mm-hmm.
like the closer. Like how about this? This was a time where it's like you could have an outro song and a closer song, and those things would be like not mutually exclusive. You know?
Yeah. So
yeah.
But incredible album. This was a lot of fun, despite how late it is at night.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We should do this more. I think we are actually, in fact, going to do this some more.
Yeah.
I did not certainly plan for the show to be 2.5 hours long, but I'll cut it down a little bit. But it's a long album. It's an important conversation. It's an album that's aged really, really well.
We're doing analysis. We're doing analysis and breakdown. You just can't get anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. There's reactions. There's reflections. There's emotions.
We do.
There's all kinds of
we
stuff.
We cover the spectrum. Yeah. There's backstories. There's side stories. Comparative analysis of different worlds.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
It is,
that was a lot of fun. Take care of
yourself,
y'all. We'll see you next time.
Yep. Everybody stay safe out here.
For sure.